This review here is a game changer. How to go viral without getting lucky by Brendan Kane and Myron Golden. This video. I'm breaking down intently this whole video that was actually on Myron Golden's YouTube channel. It's a game-changing strategy in the session that allowed me to sharpen my storytelling and grow my brand authentically. Now, why did I dive into this? I'm on a mission for my virtual live conversations with Adriane Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to help it get more volume. And this training blew my mind. It even led me to even book a call with Brendan's company, and the proposal will go through it towards the end. So I'll show you how this fits into my whole freedom to change model in regards to the 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation that I've been working on to building and growing for my community and for my simple DM method powered by AI. But this video was so much value, and I wanted to share it with my audience because, again, having all this information, the purpose and the viral strategy, if you want to understand it, this is the video for you. So turning your story into a powerful marketing platform, that was what was displayed in this here. And we're going to jump right in regards to the whole idea of how running the play. So the 7-day quick start playbook, make sure you leave your social media link in the comments, before we jump into this. So what Brendan Kane goes through in this actual play is the reality of understanding that any business, product, or service can go viral and not to actually let that hold you back. And so when you look at this concept, it really is kind of eye-boggling, his whole thought process. And we're going to go through it very thoroughly because, again, Brendan Kane has 20 years of dedicated understanding on how and why these things break through. He actually has a brand, Hook Point, that gains attention and what he understands what goes viral and why. And he's learned the exact strategies that's helped these different clients generate billions of views and millions of followers. And that's what piqued my interest in regards to doing this in the first place. Because if I can get the live virtual conversations in this actual spectrum, made sense for me to actually kind of jump in and to scale my brand. So Brendan Kane is the founder of Hook Point, and they've done 10,000 hours of research and what this world is about and understanding what goes viral. They've worked with trusted brands such as Billionaire, Rihanna, Mind Valley, Yahoo, MTV, Taylor Swift, Nordic Naturals. So understanding how you can compete with 4 billion content creators, I dove in intently and did a thorough review. So this is something you want to check out. Now, Brendan Kane is the founder of a company called Hook Point, and they've attracted over 60 billion views online, generated over 100 million followers, helped generate $1 billion in revenue, and he's working from over 18 years of experience. So he doesn't limit in regards to your size of your actual company. He'll work with you in regards to understanding what your actual story is about. And we're going to take a look at his whole concept of that as well. So how their process works, they actually have a step-by-step process where they have an in-depth marketing research and analysis. They customize the process to you, to your company. Then they apply custom viral creative strategies to your actual company, and then communication and understanding how the algorithm connects in that scale. And then the execution as well as training that's provided. And again, how fast this proposal was actually provided on the call on Monday when I actually sat down with Arpit from Hook Point for our one-on-one, it was mind-boggling. But their website is very thorough in regards to the different blogs and things that they actually have an opportunity. Now, Brendan Kane, who is the founder of Hook Point, his why is, and it's all, he said he firmly believes there are people all over the world, just like you and me, that have the power to transform the world in a positive way through your message, through your product, through your services, but you just need that helping hand. You just need the right insight. Your voice is being suppressed for any number of reasons. And a lot of times I actually talk about on my channel in regards to the importance of actually having community. And so Brendan Kane takes it a little bit step further. He said his mission is to deliver as much value so you can break through and have your voice heard. So I just thought about to have billions of views. So to understand this whole concept, he went through in his play, The 5 Biggest Lies in Social Media and How They're Holding You Back from Achieving the Success You Deserve and You're Looking For. Now, this actual case study that I'm going through is very thorough in regards to breaking down this lie, because he was literally so clear in regards to his message. So imagine you're given a treasure map, and on the treasure map, he was sharing that there are no instructions, no compass, and no idea where you're going. So however, you know that there's gold out there. So you're aimlessly wandering around, just digging holes at random, trying to find that gold, hoping to strike it rich. But that's literally what a lot of people are doing in regards to social media. Most people are treating it the same way. People are digging holes, but just creating content, hoping to strike it rich. Because what's end up happening with this whole concept is they see all these millions of followers. We see people with millions of views, and they don't have a clear blueprint or clear map on how to get to their end result. So what ends up happening is that's why what the video covers, how to go viral without getting lucky, and actually showing the strategy and the skill behind the virality, because there is a system. There's that I'm going to go through very intently here today on how this actually works. And, be able, that way you have the clarity to understand the virality. So what is social media? And that's how he started his whole presentation, on kind of giving us an in-depth look on what social media is. And it's more than a platform. It is honestly a revolution of communication. And in regards to understanding that concept, why is that a whole revolution? If you think about 20 years ago, it being right at the early beginning of 2000s, right? It wasn't, social media and communication wasn't available to everybody. You had to go through the TVs, the radio, newspaper. You had to have a large budget to actually get your word out there. You had to hire publicists. You had to, be in magazines in order for your brand to actually get exposure. But today, social media has been democratized by something called communication and social media. So now, as long as you have a cell phone, a great story, you can reach millions of people. And that's literally, it's mind-boggling on how that actually has transferred. So what does it even mean to go viral? So it means to capture attention. Are you capturing the attention that you're looking for or hoping for your brand to actually get the exposure it needs to have its end goal? So the number of so how many views is actually going viral? The number of views you need to have in order to have the impact you're looking for. So it depends on if you're building your brand, if you're getting your message out, or selling your product or service. So what was actually explained was, are you getting the attention you are seeking? That's what going viral means. Is that attention translating into your business goals and objectives? Going viral just to go viral is something called a waste of time, and time being your most valuable asset. So, you want to make sure it's never about going viral for the sake of just going viral. It should always be tangibly tied to the goals and objectives that you have planned for your business. So when you actually look at that whole idea, one of the biggest determining factors on how your actual content and what causes your content to gain attention or reach or views, and that information is the algorithm. We've all heard about it. And the algorithm is what controls the distribution of content. They control whether you can get 10 views, 100 views, 1,000 views, or even 10 million views. And that's the key with the whole social media game. Now, going viral does not mean getting as many views as possible. Again, you want to make sure that this translates into business goals and objectives. And at the end of the day is making money. You're not just going viral just for fun. So he goes back, because Brendan Kane started in the game almost 20 years ago in 2005. And I even remember MySpace myself. I had a MySpace account back when I was at Murray State University 20 years ago. And that was actually a little longer than that. But I did have a MySpace account in 2005. And social media was simple back then. Connect, post, and be seen. So you have a friend, they follow you and subscribe. So back in 2005, MySpace.com had about 25 million users, and Facebook, which now has over 3 billion users on a daily basis, they only had 6 million users back in 2005. And so what Brendan actually continues to talk about is how things evolved over time. So over time, what ended up happening is by 2010, social media grown to 970 million users. Then 2015, the number increased to 2.2 billion users. 2020, it grew to 3.96 billion. And in 2025, there's over 5.2 billion people using social media platforms. And this is how things evolved over time in regards to just the social media game. So what changed because of this? The social media algorithms. It was invented because people were joining all of these platforms and were posting on these channels, and they had to seed you, prioritize what content that you can actually see. So your TikTok, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, it had to be actually placed into this. And that's where the birth of social media algorithms came from. So what are these algorithms looking for? It's not to suppress your reach or to boost your posts. It honestly is there for a system. Brendan Kane manages, and this is the reason that I was so intently watching, he manages over $2 million in ad spend. So seeing that his reasoning, the most money is made from major corporations and brands that spend billions per year. So he actually manages over $200 million in ad spend. So if you could buy your way to the top of the algorithm, you wouldn't have people like you wouldn't have a person like a Mr. Beast who has 406 million subscribers. So in other words, he's just a regular Joe that actually worked his way to the top of 406 million subscribers on that channel. His philanthropy channel has 28 million subscribers. Mr. Beast is a YouTube influencer, a billionaire that has honestly grown his channels by doing the work. And so understanding most successful people on social media, they don't start out with the biggest budgets, the biggest teams, or the biggest equipment. They honestly start out with their story. And the algorithms are there. Now, why are they there? To prioritize the best content. People are the fuel that actually run this content. So we make the determining factor because the platforms and the algorithms have one goal: to make money. So the algorithm wants to translate into making and keeping people on their platform as long as possible. So how do they make money? They actually serve ads. So that's the reasoning, how it works in regards to your content and understanding the algorithm. Now, the content, like I said, that keeps people on the platform longer, they can serve more ads. So for example, you have a Facebook ads library where, they're making thousands and millions and even billions of dollars from people that are actually investing and trying to get their message out there. But the key thing is algorithms are prioritizing that content with the content that grabs and holds attention longer than any other content. So it doesn't matter in regards to how much you spend sometimes. It's more so if it's catchy, educates you, and it holds a person's attention. So a lot of businesses and creators and influencers, they tried to hack the algorithms, but ignored how it was actually prioritized. Because again, what the whole key, the algorithms, they're there to partner with us. So they actually are a concept of understanding how it works. They want to see us succeed. And we have to realize, us as the viewer, the consumers, we are the fuel that runs the algorithm. So when you think about that concept, you have to prove you have good content creators versus other content creators. So when you have, how is the choice made in regards to your content being posted or not? It really depends on whether or not the information is something that people want to pay attention to. So the key is just literally holding the attention over other content. That's literally the key of how the algorithm works. And understanding that what Hook Point does in their company, they explain clearly to their clients that storytelling plus retention equals success. So the key to learning is not to fight with the algorithms, but actually to partner with them and understand how they work. And that's what made me so intrigued, not only about the company, but how they actually were going to make this flow. So the Hook Point insight, they said storytelling and retention equals success. So you want to see what happens at the end of a story. So what happens is it holds your attention. So if you think about just leaving something hanging, if you miss the end, you're watching a great thriller and then the power goes out. You want to see what happens at the end of the story. And that content holds the same in the social media space. So effective storytelling allows us to build that retention, which the algorithm want to keep people engaged with content longer so they can serve more ads, and that equates to success. So storytelling helps the algorithm, which helps the actual keep people on the platform longer, and they can provide more ads, which will allow you to get your credit card out and spend money on their platform. And that is how what algorithm fuels the algorithm as well. So social media is about becoming a better storyteller, partnering with the algorithms and understanding how that works. That's kind of your key on how to actually go viral. But ignoring the algorithms, ignore the hacks, tips, and tricks. Learn how to become a better storyteller was the tip of the day. So through that, you'll have success. So I actually processed that comment because, again, like having your story and being able to transform and capture someone's attention, that's what's going to be able to hold you and help you grow. So what he went through is something called the 5 biggest social media lies, how they are blocking your visibility, voice, and success presentation. It was amazing. And we're going to go through it here today to kind of give you that review and that clarity of what makes sense regarding these algorithms. So lie number 1, virality is pure luck. And what he goes on to explain to you that this is just a lie. So have you ever created a lot of content, put a lot of time, energy, money, and resources into the piece of content, and then you post it, and then what happens? Crickets. So we've all been there in regards to content and, having 1 view, 0 views, and being in the digital marketing game for a while. I've been there. But so that's why I did the research in trying to build and grow the Billionaire brand. But the process, yes, is painful, but there is a science to the whole idea. And that science is rooted in storytelling. So when you look at what changed because of this algorithm, it was, like I said, invented because people were joining these platforms and were posting on these social media channels, and they wanted to prioritize what content that you see. So that's the kind of the mechanism and the idea behind it. So social media platforms are made for storytelling. It's not about hope. It's not about luck. It's a repeatable process to it. So your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, they want to keep you on their platform as long as possible. So understanding the science and understanding the method and then doing the testing, that's something you can't get around with. So the simple social media truth, trends are fleeting, but stories are not. We've all heard of Google Trends, and Google Trends allows you to understand what's trending in the world type thing. And so trends can happen, they come and they go, but stories, those experiences, those are something that are not something that is something that is fleeting. Storytelling formats are structures that have repeatable successes. So Brendan Kane's Hook Point Company has done over 10,000 hours of research. So they've done their due diligence in regards to the subject, analyzing over 300 different story formats. And in my 7-day quick start playbook, I only go through a few. So but I'm going to try to apply as many as possible just to give people the opportunity to understand how these stories work. But with Hook Point, they've already done the work, right? So investing in them is regards to, them having over 300 different formats. Now, these storytelling formats are a blueprint or a proven structure to have repeatable success over and over and over again. And the key about that is you want to insert your content or your message and be very flexible, because understanding how these different formats work, and then you have to go out and test. You can't get around it. Like being authentic and being real with your story, you got to test it. But what it was so kind of weird and funny with the whole thing was movies follow the same type of format, but they all feel different, right? A horror movie is different from an action movie. An action movie is different from a sci-fi movie. Dramas are different from a comedy, but the directors can be creative within that format. And it works the same exact way for social media. So how that actual concept works, trends versus format. And he provided a great example in regards to understanding it. So, for example, if you're learning a musical instrument, if you were going the trend route, the first week you would learn the piano. The second week you would learn the actual drums. The third week, you will learn the guitar. And the fourth week, you will learn the violin. So you keep switching the goalposts and never become a master of any of them, because you're looking at all of these different instruments, learning how to do a musical instrument. Now, the difference if you go with the format, a proven format, so mastering the piano, sitting down for years and mastering just one thing. And I talk about it a lot with the 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation, is having just one offer and mastering that offer. That's the kind of concept you want to actually go with, and maybe kind of go back and take a step back and slow down, because again, mastering one thing and becoming a master in it, and then being able to press play in it, and then leveraging it with AI, that's a game changer. So people think social media is constantly shifting and changing, and you always have to be innovative. But the reality is, a lot of these storytelling platforms and formats have been used for decades. So in all honesty, it's just understanding and doing the work. So he brought about some case studies, and this first case study that we're going to take a look at is a Tanner Leatherstein. So Tanner Leatherstein, he had amazing content about leather, and he had a problem. Big famous brands were selling similar things, Louis Vuitton, Coach. Tanner wanted to show people that his leather was special and teach them why good leather matters. So he asked Hookpoint for help. He wanted to make friends with lots of people online and show them how cool the leather worked. So Tanner started with no ads, no format, and no story. And I went and did the actual research. So after working with Hookpoint, it taught Tanner how to tell stories that people love, and helped him learn how to make videos and posts that people actually want to share. So he showed him how to understand what people like, and here's what they did. They made a great story, helping Tanner tell his story in a way that showed he loved leather. We're going to go through and see one of his stories in a moment. They actually tried different things. They had to do testing, right? So helping Tanner make different kinds of videos and posts to see what people like best, using the right pieces and places. So making sure the videos were perfect for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, as well as the shorts, and gave people value, making the videos taught people about good leather. So the results, 1.5 million followers, 100 million organic views. So in regards to kind of taking a look at Tanner,
what can I say except you're welcome? For the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. I'm just an ordinary.
So in that video, right, we're going to go through. So I want to show you that real quick.
What can I say except you're welcome?
So in this video, he had no story, simply tried it to sell products and service. And before Hookpoint had 32,000 views. Now in the next video here, we're going to see
Coach leather bags. Are they worth it? I went to the Coach store yesterday, and this was the bag I loved the most. Sales associate told me this was made out of glow tan leather, and the inside was suede. But I have my doubts. And as you can see, this is all fabric, not suede. In my opinion, about 6 feet of leather to put this bag together, about $5 a foot, $30 for the leather. Insanely good brass accessories, they used a lot of them. With the fabric, I give it another $30, so $60 in materials. And in my estimate, about $70 should be enough to put this bag together. In total, $130 for the materials and labor. I paid $450. Doesn't sound like a bad deal. I love the leather, the feel and look of it. I hate that I was told inside was suede and it's fabric. And they used PU leather for the story patch inside. I wish it was real leather.
So with that video, he actually had is it worth it story structure. So that's the type of story structure that was set up in that video. And with the actual change up of the video concept, is it worth it story structure, matched his business, matched his expertise. And you saw in the video and his passion, he just kind of went through and explained the expensive leather good, destructs it on screen, and tells you whether it is worth the money you paid for it or not. And after working with Hookpoint, that video got 10.1 million views. So you see the difference in regards to having a story structure within your content and how that actually affected Tanner Leatherstein's business. So how did it actually translate into dollars? doing an ad versus is it worth it story structure. What that actually did was he got 94 videos surpassing 1 million views, 16 videos surpassing 4 million views, 2.3 million followers across all of his platforms, social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And so literally, it also translated the monetary gain in the video. He doesn't say anything about buy my products now, go to my website. He is getting people to know, like, and trust him. And people naturally want to take that next step. So what was explained was paid ads. Tanner was spending money on Google ads and pay-per-click ads, generating about 10,000 visitors per month. He was paying for every click. Once he started this framework, it jumped to 100,000 visitors per month organically. Now, what that means is you don't have to pay for the actual content. You put it out yourself, and you're saving money on regards to ads. So how that, again, translated into business, the most expensive products he couldn't keep on the shelf. And why that is because simply Tanner established the know, like, and trust factor. You can see his passion in the video. He's proving he knows leather. He's being truthful and honest with it. And he's having people gravitate to those relationships. So that's the key difference of how that know, like, and trust factor and how that builds and grows in regards to the brand. So going viral is not luck, it's storytelling. Storytelling is the best marketing that's out there. And how you do that and how you position that, that's kind of what you went through. So remember, he literally over 100 million views. Storytelling plus retention equals success. So playing into what the algorithms want. People are the fuel that runs the algorithms. And so we're trying to partner with the algorithms, not beat the algorithms. So that's the key part in regards to understanding. So the takeaways, actionable strategies, identify storytelling formats. So realizing that they exist in the world. Most people are passively consuming content and don't see there are clear patterns, clear structures to how things work. Choose the one that best fits your message. So Hook Point has, like I said, over 300 different ones. You want to choose the one that excites you and feels authentic to who you are. And then analyze what makes it different and what makes it effective, because before just creating content, because don't just look at the views. You want to understand the why behind it and what makes it successful. So that's the kind of whole key in the actual strategy. So
what can I say?
That was the scenario. And so
Coach Leatherbags.
Who he is.
And then I'm going to break down why. So let's start with the first one.
So in this one, he does which one is?
And then I'm going to break down why.
Pay attention.
So let's start with the first one.
This is Brendan breaking down the video. So you're comparing.
Okay, so that's the first one. I don't want to. Hey, you guys can't cheat. You can't tell the answer before you watch 2 videos. You got to give it a chance. Okay. Okay, so here's the second one. Okay.
So in looking at those 2 videos, Regina Roth, I'm going to go ahead and cheat or what have you, now currently has over 3 million likes. You saw how simple that video was. I sent that over to my business partner, but let's talk about why this actually worked. And so when we look at the breakdown of the Pantene video versus the Regina Roth video, they do something called a structure. And these are the different parts of the structure that you kind of take a look at and analyze before you actually grow. So comparing the Pantene video, it had 3,500 views versus Regina Roth's video has 19.1 million views on TikTok. Now, why it worked, the difference is with the Pantene video, there was no visible difference between seeing the before and after, minimizing the impact. Whereas the Regina Roth video, the stark visual contrast of the before and after enables the viewer to appreciate the transformation. Pacing, pacing, excuse me, transformation is minor in the Pantene video, failing to pay off for the viewer. Whereas in the Regina Roth video, builds anticipation and amplifies the emotional impact. The reactions, we can tell in the Pantene video that the model overacts and lacks authenticity. Whereas in the Regina Roth video, it's raw, it's genuine. The emotions from the client and the stylist pulls the actual viewers in. You can tell that it's authentic, which leads to the Pantene authentic storytelling. Professional lighting indicates the viewer had a sales pitch it was being made. Whereas, I mean, Regina Roth literally is a real relatable moment, creates a deep audience connection. And how this actually translated for her, Regina, before she started using the hook point model, she was stuck at $3,000 per month as a hairstylist in Florida. This single video booked her out 1 year in advance, and her revenue actually jumped to $16,000 per month. I sent this over to my niece for her to actually pay attention to, because she's a hairstylist here in the Michigan area. And I was like, just looking at the concept of how this actually works, over 19.1 million likes, simple and easy. You have to actually do the testing. So one video, and in her video, she didn't say, and this is something that I learned very strategically as well, she didn't say book now. She didn't say sign up for her hair salon. She is building a relationship with her audience, and they naturally gravitate to her. And like I said, she's booked out for the whole year. Lie number 2, you need big budgets and large teams. So overproduction can work against you. Sometimes it works for you, but it starts to look fake. It can work against you as well. So we are professional content consumers. Think about it. Like, people are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube right now. We consume so much content with social media. And then we got Netflix that has Netflix and chill, right? Our subconscious mind is so smart. If something feels too overpolished, we sense it's an ad. We sense it's a paid advertising. Even if it's not an ad, you can feel that way. Sometimes, like I said, if it's too produced, it can work against you. So excuses don't get results. So you don't need a huge budget. You don't need fancy equipment. You need to take action with a structure in place. And that literally will help you start with building your story. So they did another case study of a Dr. Jordan Davis. What Brendan shares is that he wanted to be a rock star, but his wife actually encouraged him to be a dentist. And he's one of the top dentists in Utah. So he had the mindset too that you need a lot of fancy commercials, you need a lot of fancy equipment in order to actually have success. Whereas in regards to understanding that, you don't. Let's take a look. This is before. So that was the video that has 1,400 views. The commercial that before he actually connect with hook points and setting up an actual process. Now let's take a look at the
Don't get why these celebrities get bad veneers. Like, they're bad. Let's look at Emily Blunt. I think that she's had multiple sets of veneers. We found a photo of her when she's really, really young. This looks like her natural teeth. The lips we often call the frame of the smile, and her teeth fit fairly well within that frame. There's some minor nuances, like, on her left side, it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit shadowed over there. Things aren't perfectly straight, but overall, the proportions look good and her smile looks pretty good. But the things that probably bothered her was mainly the color. They're kind of yellowish, they're a little bit splotchy, and so that's probably why she went the veneer route. And her veneers now are not good. They look a little roundy, they look a little bulky, they don't fit well, and it doesn't seem to fit her personality or what naturally would be happening with her smile. The other thing is they're a little too opacious. I see a lot of white opacity. After looking through all of these sets of veneers that she's had, I actually like her original smile the most. If she could have a set of veneers that matched a little bit what her original teeth were doing, they would be perfect.
This video, 21.5 million views. And because it actually had a format, using expertise to break down celebrity teeth, not a high value production. It looks like he's in his office, just like right now. You know, you don't have to have anything fancy, but you do have to take action. And you see people gravitate to real. 21.5 million views. Come on, y'all, that's crazy. And so reach millions of people with a cell phone as long as you have a story. That's it. Simple and easy. So it was just proven with the last two. So the simple truth is hooking attention and telling a great story beats overproduced big budget content every single time. Just being raw, being honest, being open, and being vulnerable to your actual story. So the actionable strategy, find a format that fits your resources, like a cell phone. Like you don't have to have you see where I am. So focus on storytelling, not advertisements. And you don't need to sell in your content. You build that relationship. So, you know, I'm going to slow down on saying, drop my link here and go here. I mean, literally people are going to gravitate to you because you prioritize emotional connection over polished production. So you got to do the work. It's nothing around that.
Watch what happens when I put a cucumber in this terrarium.
$68 million views, like for real. And so Ben Newell is Terrariums expert now, 68 million views across all of his platforms. Ben tells stories in micro environments he builds around terrariums, and he's the leading expert in the world because of terrariums, because of social. Did you watch that video with me? So again, you know, there's literally the myth.
This is how real estate works in 60 seconds. Here we have John, and he's looking at buying a house, but the problem is John doesn't have the money for it. And that's when the bank says, hey, John, I heard you want to buy this house, and it's $5. Well, what we'll do is we can loan it to you, and all you have to do is pay us back in a thank you note. Give us $2 back. It's called interest. And John says, yes, I'll take it. So he takes his $5, and he buys the house. Now, what happens is over time, this house goes up in value because they got a new Starbucks, they have shopping, new restaurants, they even have a zoo nearby. And someone comes to John, they say, this is a beautiful home in a great neighborhood. John, I'll pay you $10 for it. Just give it to me. And John's like, well, my kids are grown, so here's the keys. I don't need this big house anymore. And he takes the $10, runs to the bank, and says, you remember you gave me $5 to buy this house? Well, here's your $5. But also, I promise you, I was going to pay you $2 as a thank you. It's called interest. And now John gets a chance to walk away with a $3 profit. And this can work in real estate. If you buy a house and sell it for more than you actually bought it for, that's because it went up in value. And everybody's happy because the bank, they were able to loan John the money, give him this dream house, and they still made some money. But John is happy too because he got a chance to live his dream house, but also making a profit when he sold it. Now, if you like this type of information, make sure that you follow for more. And do me a favor, comment below what concept you want to see next. This is how real estate.
So seriously, like 6.5 million views, and he used a format called visual metaphors. So using visual metaphors to explain a complex or abstract subject matter, he has over 6 million likes on TikTok and has built, like I said, that one video built 6 million views. So you see how structuring a story can actually be able to help you in regards to building your brand. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have like millions of followers, but again, like the concept and the structure is what helps you get there. Let's look at this next one here.
My shoe has a tear. Can I get a new pair? You bought that almost 2 years ago. There's nothing we can do since it's been over 60 days. She has no idea. I know. Watch this. I'm not talking about the 60-day return policy. I've actually read your terms, and I know that as long as it's been less than 2 years since the manufacture date found here, it's covered under the warranty. And Nike will either give me a brand new pair or a gift card for the same value. Oh, fine. We don't carry that one anymore. So here's your $100 gift card. Who taught you this? Erika did. She's a lawyer and reads the fine print so that I don't have to. That's why I follow.
Now this video, 75 million views, 75 million views. And she uses the format 2 characters, 1 mic. So same person plays 2 different characters and breaks down the subject matter or debunks a common myth. So Erika Kulberg has built an audience on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, 15 million people. So killing it in regards to telling her story about warranties. So which leads to lie number 3, your business isn't exciting enough. We just talked about insurance. We talked about real estate. We talked about terrariums, and we talked about warranties. So your business is not about your business. It's how you tell your story and how you structure your story. So the power of something called the Generalist principle. And the Generalist principle that Hook Point uses ensures content is clear, engaging, and widely accessible, helping it break through. So the key elements: simplicity, use clear, easy to understand language, storytelling, engaging with relatable stories and emotions, broad appeal, connecting through universal themes and challenges. So to kind of give you another idea, you want to create content that speaks to people to buy your product, buy our products and services in a specific niche, but you also want to make it interesting to a wider possible audience if possible. So when you look at why is this, the algorithms only care about content that holds and retains attention at scale. That's it. They're trying to make money. That's the key thing you have to remember. And also, you are competing against 150,000 other pieces of content. So when you look at that concept as well, what you realize is it's not really about you. So Nance, even though you create a piece of content, and let me make sure that you can actually see. So even though you create a piece of content that's targeted specifically to your audience, it is still competing against the other content that isn't in your direct competition. So remember that there's so many pieces of the content along the way. So with the Generalist principle, it's all about making it accessible to your core customer, but to a wider possible audience as well. So in order to do this, you have to break down things simply using clear, easy to understand language. And that's always been one of my things that I have always been working on, keeping it simple. So look at this here.
I want to see the most expensive closet I've ever seen in my career. I want to see the most expensive closet I've ever seen in my career.
Ryan Serhant. So this is a video we're going to watch. Ryan Serhant, and he has a universal angle. He's a millionaire real estate professional, but he takes the angle. Let me take you on a tour of a $7 million closet. So let's take a look at this quick video.
I want to see the most expensive closet I've ever seen in my career. I want to see the most expensive closet I've ever seen in my career. That's what it's supposed to be in here. Okay, there's a skateboard here. Wow. The wallpaper, crazy. Everything custom built out. This is, maybe it's one of 20 closets in this house. There's nothing else like it. So you've got all of the jewelry, all of the drawers, everything that's here, like all the hanging space, bags, yes, shoes. I mean, if this is rare or brand new, I don't even know what's going on. Okay, it's still valuable. Putting this in. And then, this is your view from your closet.
I saw that video. I was like, I just want the closet. Like that view was amazing. So Ryan Serhant, a realtor, translates to commerce. He sells properties, $15 million to $250 million properties in Manhattan, New York. He's super niche down in regards to a super small audience that he targets, but he generates millions of views using Generalist principle in the way that you see. He has 19.2 million views on TikTok. He's millions, 2.5 million views on YouTube, and on Instagram, 1.4 million views. So actual subscribers, excuse me. So he generates all these millions of views so he can sell a $30 million property off a YouTube video. And he needs less than 1% of his core target audience, because he can actually beat less than 1% out of the competition because he has millions of followers. So that's what engagement and the power of actual views can go. So the actionable strategy with this is using analogies and unexpected comparisons so people can actually relate with the actual information. So you saw Erika do it in regards to warranties. You saw what Cobb did in regards to real estate, and being able to use analogies and unexpected comparisons. For example, imagine if all the bread in the world suddenly doubled in price overnight. This is how inflation works. So giving you your mind a concept so you can actually have a complex subject broken down to something simply in terms of something that you can actually understand. So looking at the takeaway to the benefits of proper dental hygiene, to 90% of people are ruining their teeth without realizing it. So the way that you can turn this content into a relatable story, it makes people pay attention, engaging and educating the actual person that's paying attention to the platform. So the takeaway here is the effect on the viewer. As content creators, sometimes we often think about our goals. What do we want to achieve with our content? But we need to reshift that focus and change the mindset to what is the effect that we want to have on the actual viewer? What is the experience you want them to have when you create that piece of content? So without it, you get lost in that connection with people on the other side of the screen. So how you actually look at the next case study of Corey Warren. Corey Warren's 61.9 million views across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok combined. He's a recovering addict. He's from Lansing, Michigan. What up, though? I'm here in Detroit, Michigan. And passionate about helping people struggling from addiction, and wanted to make sure my sobriety date is actually in a few minutes here, and 19 months sober for myself. But let's take a look at, I was taking a look at this. I wanted to make sure I was able to showcase this. So I was honestly thinking about doing it for my anniversary tomorrow, which is on the 20th, which would be 19 months. But let's take a look at Corey Warren's.
This is what nobody wants to talk about with alcohol. My name's Corey. I'm an alcoholic. And for the longest time, I thought that alcohol was my problem. I thought that if I could just put the alcohol down, everything would be okay. What I realized is that alcohol is not my problem. Alcohol is my solution. When I had a bad day, alcohol was my solution. My wife and I were fighting, alcohol was my solution. If I couldn't pay my bills, alcohol was my solution. See, alcohol was never the problem. The problem was I didn't know how to handle my life. So once I put the alcohol down and all that alcohol got up out of my cup, I could finally start to focus on me. And once I started focusing on the problem, I no longer needed the alcohol. If you want to quit drinking, hit me up.
So see how Corey Warren uses visual metaphors? That actually impacted 61 million views across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So do you understand how huge that will be in the addiction community in regards to someone actually seeing and being able to visualize how the effect of alcohol affects you? And then once you have it out of your system and the layers that are peeled back. So I thought that was so amazing, and hats off to Corey Warren, because again, the sobriety journey is real, and being able to see a way that you can relate with people to understand what people are dealing with. Hats off to you, Corey, in regards to this, and hopefully I'll have you on my virtual live conversations platform at some point in regards to just kind of talking about your story as well. Great job. So the reality is any business, product, service can go viral. Find the right format, the right story that you are looking for. And so how you actually position this next one, and it was an educational YouTube channel that explores science, engineering, and innovative problem solving. On average, they post once a month. So Brendan asked the question, how many views do you think this channel generated in the past year? And so when we took a look at that, over 300 million views. A guy named Mark Rober has actually published content in his YouTube. And he's a former NASA engineer, and he currently works at Crunch Labs, a founder and friend of science. And so his unique angle of storytelling, like for example, 190 million views, the world's largest Jello pool. Can you swim in Jello? Skin a watermelon party trick, 147 million views. Liquid sand hot tub, 142 million views, not dollars. So again, which brings to the next point. Success isn't about posting frequently; it's about posting strategically. And of course, in the marketing journey, you hear a lot of people, content creators, saying you gotta post, you gotta post, you gotta post, you gotta post. What the key is, it's all about, it's not all about, the success isn't about posting frequently. It's about having a strategy. And it's okay if you're just learning some of these things, and drop in the comments if some of these things are new for you as well, because it's okay, because you can change. You have the freedom to change today. That's the key. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I got this video out in regards to you understanding how this thing works, which leads you to lie number 4. More posts lead to more success. That's not true. So I just showed you Mark Rober has 300 million views and only posts once a week. And so frequency is not the key to success. Frequency can play a role when you master the storytelling structure format, but that isn't the key to success. Now, there's nothing wrong with actually, however which way, the algorithms know there are over 1 billion pieces of content posted across social media channels. So having a system in order to actually getting this done, that's how you can maximize your opportunities in regards to the algorithm. So why would they reward a content creator for posting more when their only goal is to keep people on the platform longer? So keeping them engaged and being able to have a structured plan and helping people to get there, because they wouldn't. This simple as that. So how you look at the simple truth, quality over quantity every single time, every time. I know I was in a training earlier with Jonathan Montoya. He was showing us this amazing Facebook ads with the AI program that he has, just the AI Launchpad that he has coming out that we're promoting, and showed us how to work Facebook ads and utilizing ChatGPT as well as some other softwares in regards to the growth of the business. But the quality in utilizing AI and how he's using it as well still can actually give you win at the end of the day, because if you have a system set up, that's the simple truth of understanding. So we don't pay attention to the amount of content, we pay attention to the content that actually resonates with us. That's the whole key. So it's not just about posting content, it's about the content that resonates. Because think about it, on the last Netflix show, did you literally watch it and say, hey, I'm gonna watch this based on the length of time or the runtime? I'm going to watch this. That wasn't the reasoning for it. So you care about the quality, but not the quantity. Mastering storytelling and formats drive growth, and they increase when you master this. So that's literally the concept of how you look at ads, because when you're actually having the ad process, nothing wrong with ads. Because the key thing with ads is that what it does is it magnetizes the opportunity. But what you have to do at first is, when you do your due diligence and you do your research, then I'm going to show you here quickly how ads can work in your benefit, but then leveraging AI takes it to a whole nother spectrum. So like I said, today I had a training with Jonathan Montoya, and he released his AI Launchpad software that I'm actually promoting as well, to be able to help people in promotion of that. So if you go to something called Ads Library or for Meta, and let me see if I can make sure you're not seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Okay, there you go. So the Ads Library, Facebook Ads Library. And so with Jonathan Montoya and his ads, like the craziest thing ever is utilizing AI for some of these ads. So AI and having these opportunities, you're learning in the AI Launchpad how to build your actual AI twin. And so Jonathan, I mean, look how so real quick that you can actually go through and be able to leverage your brand. But the great thing is utilizing the ad library allows you to do the research and understanding, what process or which one to go with. So it's all about quality. It's not about quantity. And mastering that storytelling technique, what that shows you is how to actually master this. So the actionable strategy, ask yourself before you post, does this post solve a problem for my audience? Does it tell a compelling story? Does it hold attention from start to finish? Ask yourself these questions before you just start creating content, because again, what will end up happening at the end of the day is it allows you to understand how to actually grow. So did you know Ikea has a hotel in Sweden? Oh my God. So it's called the Ikea effect. And what they did was Ikea what the IKEA effect is they made everybody in the world professional furniture builders. Think about it. The world's only IKEA hotel is in Sweden. But if you go to IKEA today, you can actually put together a table, a chair, a bar. I remember when my cousin moved to Toronto or what have you, when we first moved there, we went to IKEA. We were like in heaven. I put together the whole living room. I had no experience in being a furniture builder, and that's what's called the IKEA effect. So they can be able to provide that information for you. So lie number 5 is you need experience. No, you just need a system that works. IKEA has established a system that will be able to give you step-by-step guidelines to understand how to become a furniture builder. That wasn't my passion. So social media success isn't always about having the most experience. It's about having the right guide or right blueprint in front of you to be able to have clarity. So here's the next case study with Dr. Erin Nance. She actually had created Little Miss Diagnosed on TikTok, and because at 7 she broke her arm, went to the emergency room, and always wanted to become a surgeon. That was her dream. So what Hook Point did was put together this whole concept for her to be a medical storyteller. And so she always wanted to, we're going to go through one of her videos as well here shortly. But to start off, she had 0 experience, but now she actually has 31 videos with over 1 million views each. 8 videos surpassing 3 million views each, 4 videos exceeding 5 million views each, and she created this content with her iPhone. So let's take a look at, we're not going to watch the whole video.
Some sounds of medicine that once you hear them cannot be unheard. This is the story of a 27-year-old male screaming for help from his mother and how he ended up in that place. So I'm the junior on call for ortho, and I'm already in the ER seeing a bunch of consults, and I hear someone screaming. Now, I take care of people who are in car accidents, who are in burns, who are being bitten by dogs, but I have never in my career heard someone screaming like this. And the charge nurse looked at me and kind of motioned for me to, come and take a look and help in the situation.
So this video is actually over 3 minutes long. So check out Dr. Erin Nance. But 9.5 million views for this video. And she started with Hook Point, had 0 followers. Now she has 750,000 followers. She had no views, no social media experience, no idea where to begin. She's a hand doctor. Now she has a book deal, a reality TV show deal, a podcast deal, all through the power of storytelling. And so 9.5 million views, like, that's crazy. So literally, so Brendan Kane had his first book, and I like the way that he actually put this, and I understand the psychology behind his whole presentation. In time, I know he has 18 years in the game, and so in 18 years, I want to be able to, kind of position things like he did in regards to his live video with Myron Golden. Amazing, and check out his live as well. But he had a vision to do the book and had a lot of doubt in creating it. So because he said what he had was, is he going to fail? He never wrote a book before. He doesn't have experience, and had all these beliefs that were holding him back. And so from there, the story, he decided to go to an expert and someone that has written 20 books to get mentorship and coaching to help him shape the ideas, to give him that confidence and structure in order to help guide him, even though he never wrote the book. So he had a guide to bring him down the path. So, but the whole psychology behind it, he was giving that first he started with 1, but after doing that, with getting mentorship, getting coaching, investing himself, he not only got another book deal and then another book deal. And the book was so successful though that he ended up with 3 different deals after getting some type of help. So he says all that to say in regards to the simple truth of having an effective system and a guide are more crucial than extensive experience. So you can have all the experience in the world, and a lot of people don't like to invest in any type of marketing program or any coaching program. I know I promote Passion Over Profits as well as Funnel Freedom, and these programs, as well as, of course, coaching with Adriane. But these programs and having these systems, you want to not do the same mistakes as someone else did. And you're able to help people along the way because, again, for example, I even reflect on my virtual live conversation series that started in May. And on the series, I literally each week, I'm talking to different people in regards to just their journey with real estate and understanding their whole process. But now I've learned things after having six episodes consistently in. And make sure you actually check out the playlist. I'll make sure I leave it in the comments for you. And go to Adriane Mays, you'll be able to see it. But the key thing about it is I'm learning different strategies. I'm learning things about the live platform. So when I was actually going to do the 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation, now I'm able to literally showcase people the things that I've learned. So if you go to my actual channel and go to the playlist, you're able to kind of see the virtual. I have a whole playlist that goes through all the different people that have been on. But see, the key thing about having the playlist is, the different people that each person that's come on to the actual show, it's all in one place. And so, that was the whole thing that fueled me to even do this whole review with the Brendan today,
my business
right? So I wanted to be able to not really go viral, but what I wanted to do is provide more information to my audience that do come on to the live conversation, that have some great people that's coming up here next. And so I wanted to make sure that I was able to provide that information, provide that input. And how you do that is educating yourself. You can't get around it. You got to learn, you got to actually build, you got to grow, and understanding these small things that you do together, that's building these systems, will help you grow and build as a content creator as well. So the actionable strategy there was follow a proven blueprint, learn from those who have proven it, and don't wait, take action now. And a lot of people are letting those 5 lies hold them back. Take action. There's no reason not to. The whole key is to just first attempt in learning. You're going to fail several times in the social media game, but you got to try. If you don't try, you don't know what you don't know. So what success comes from taking action. And if you ever felt that social media success or virality is only for the lucky, or people with big budgets and teams, or a sexy industry, or celebrity status, or constant posting, or insider knowledge, those are the 5 lies that Brendan Kane goes through and shows holding you back. So I was like, that the key is storytelling, focusing on storytelling. You'll have the success you're looking for, but having structure in that storytelling. So that's the information I was able to provide you today. So what would you do after you see a presentation like that? What would you do? You would go actually call the number, right? You would go to the website. And that's exactly what I did. So I went to the website and I was like, that was amazing. I want to actually learn more. So, when you actually go to the website, what happens is you get more information about the company. So first thing that happens on there, because, in all the different trainings and things you learn, it's something called funnel hacking. And, so you go, you don't know what you're going to go, you don't know what you don't know until you go and do it, right? So I went to the website because I was like, Brendan Kane dropped so many dimes and so much information that would help the live virtual conversations brand take off, getting, all these different viewers with story. I'm doing storytelling, blah, blah, blah. That's how my mindset works. Anyway, so Brendan Kane and the Hook Point team are ready to help your business get the attention it deserves on social media. I did this on Sunday. So this opportunity is only available for business owners who are serious about accelerating their success and want to capture attention with proven viral strategies, build authority through influential content formats, and generate revenue with scalable social systems. 3 things exactly what I wanted to do. And they guarantee at least 1 million views in the next 120 days to companies they work with, but only work with those ready to invest in their success. Tailored viral growth strategies that start at $10,000. Ready to elevate your brand? Schedule your call now. I was like, I missed that last sentence right there. But so I scheduled a call. For so I booked a call with Hook Point, and I had it for actual Monday. This past Monday, I blew through it Arpit Akari, and he was able to connect with me and literally booked a strategy call. And the strategy call was 15 minutes, and this allowed me to kind of see how AI is just taking over the game and understanding this whole process. So AI prepared an instant proposal. I was on the phone with Arpit for 15 from Hook Point, 15 minutes. After the 15-minute conversation, I promise you, in my email box, I had a proposal. And that's how AI, it wasn't a situation like, typically as I do consulting with my business clients or what have you, I'll go and I'll do a proposal, tell them what we learned, tell them what we talked about. Instantly they did a proposal, and literally they had this in my inbox. And so they're ready to scale your brand on social media. And then so the next thing, they provided value instantly with AI, the overview, here to partner with you in creating breakthrough comments. They show results. Their experts are data-driven frameworks to reverse engineer your strategies. Their approach doesn't rely on team size, budget, or experience in social media. Instead, process to provide you with a customized strategy, expert guidance, and deep understanding of social media platforms. Then the actual next step is they gave the process, which was so clear, step by step, the process at Hook Point, understanding that a social media strategy relies on two critical components: crafting a captivating content. So their viral content model removes the guesswork from content creation. This approach helps you consistently achieve long-lasting success by reverse engineering successful content and applying these strategies and insights to your content. And then number two, holding attention through storytelling. So I just went through a whole presentation on how Brendan Kane talks about storytelling and retention, your algorithm. So holding attention through storytelling, their communication algorithm developed based on over 1 million personality and communication profiles ensures your message resonates with your entire audience. The combination of these strategies is powerful. Grab attention plus hold attention equals scale your business. So this is the proposal that they provided next. And so then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the next thing was a simple truth. He had a video, mastery of a single format. Going viral isn't about producing as much content as possible. Hashtags, chasing trends, time of day. Going viral is about focusing your time, energy, and resources on becoming world-class at executing a single top-performing format. It's the proven method used by their clients and top content creators, Mr. Beast, Alex Stem, Bots, World Economic Forum, virally, and that's literally how they built their massive followings. So some of the common myths, all of this is in the proposal, right? So they're they're giving you all of the reasons on why you should buy. So the common myths in regards to virality, these are the misconceptions. Did you know that the biggest challenge to getting your content to go viral is a fundamental misunderstanding of content doesn't go viral when a creator gets lucky. Content goes viral when a creator understands the science behind the virality, and that's what they provide. And then they give you testimonials. And those are the ones that I went through here today, and definitely check back. And I didn't do Erin and I didn't do Dean, but they give you client testimonials that allow you to go and do your due diligence, do the research. We went through Erin's, we went through Tanner, and that way you can kind of see how the results happen. They're giving you people that you actually went through Chris Cobb, that invested in their business, all of these different people or what have you. You can see their story structures. It's kind of amazing. And so they give you all these different testimonials or what have you. So go check them out. Dr. Liz, and literally all of these people have already 1 million views because they've used this storytelling format, this structure. Then so they have frequently asked questions. What I thought was really ironic and different with the frequently asked questions is they actually have frequently asked video questions. A lot of people don't do video. Is this process going to work for me? So Brendan is telling you in video, how does this system work? What is the expected return on my investment? What are the deliverables? All of those different things and bullet points are provided with video, little short video content versus how we typically do it. You see most websites, and not me included, that just has the words. So then they give you the scope. Kickoff call. On this call, Hook Point team will establish your brand and social media goals, audit your social media accounts, introduce the communication algorithm. Without an effective communication strategy, brands fail to connect with the largest possible audience on social media. Hook Point's internal data source shows that most content created by brands connects with less than 30% of their core target audience, and in some cases alienates up to 70% of the audience. The communication algorithm provides a framework to increase the connection percentage with the core target audience from 30% to 75%. It's the same framework that Pixar uses in all of their scripts and marketing materials to connect the world to its films. Recommend social media formats to give you the best chance of going viral, and they begin with the viral content model overview. That's the first part of their whole 60 to 90-minute call. That's the first part of their scope. Second part of their scope is the strategy presentation. So this is a 60 to 90-minute call. It's a 14 to 21 days later. And this is spit out instantly, by the way, right? Didn't I tell you right after the call, I had this in my inbox. Review the research for the 3 clients selected formats and explain the implementation. Overview viral content model. Explain how to implement the communication algorithm in social media, including effective subconscious communication, digital marketing, analysis of consumer environmental preferences, research-backed algorithm for understanding consumer psychological needs, motivations, and distress sequencing, consumer perception, identification, and consumer interaction styles. And so I was like, wow. And then I got the next one, number 3, the scope of the work, the consultation, the viral content online course, and the group calls. You knowing exactly what you're going to get for your actual book, bang for your book. If you're paying attention or what have you, in the comments for me, I want you to tell me how much you think this investment is. So the consultation step, before I even, don't cheat. All right, Bertie, don't cheat. But in the comments, so the consultation step is a 60 to 90 minute session, 45 to 60 days, post training, and then review the training outcomes, discuss your data and your analysis, your strategic plan. You have a viral content model online course, which will give you the course, a self-paced online course that trains content creators in the full scope of creative processes, including mindset, research, ideation, and analysis. And then you have group calls as a bonus to jumpstart. You can be able to get week 1 hook point review, a Q&A call, week 3, a creative content review Q&A call. And so this was very strategic for me, because putting together my plan for the 7-day quick start playbook, I was like, oh, good way to actually position that after my live virtual strategies, sessions. So anyway, more case studies. They gave me more case studies to be able to pay attention to. And that way you can be able to go and do your due diligence, realize whether or not this is going to be for you or not. Look at some of the actual storytelling structures and be able to see whether or not this makes sense. So in the comments, again, I want you to actually put, how much do you think this actual investment is going to cost from Hook Point? Okay, and so did you say 10,500? So that's the actual, and then provides you the contract right away as well. So literally step by step, they let you know what they're going to do, how they're going to get you there, what's the investment, how you're going to actually have the proposal, and they give you the breakdown. What's the steps that you're going to actually fulfill, how you're going to get there, all laid out for you, and then tell you, boom, 10,500, credit or debit. And then, so if you say, because I told him I had to talk to my business partner, and good answer. Melissa said 10K. You 10,500. You was on, sis. And so thank you so much for actually participating as well. 10,500. And so I was like, oh, wait. My mind went all the way there. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to go learn this. Because think about it. If I'm doing and she'll actually be, Melissa is going to be on our live virtual conversations on July 1st. Thank you for the support, sis. I appreciate you 100%. But think about it. When I have Melissa Green Jackson on for her MGJ Consulting Hub live on July the 1st, and I've actually mastered this strategy and being able to get more people to view our content, don't you know that's going to actually leverage the Being the Change brand? That's how I looked at it. I was like, if I get more people and utilize this process and be able to help people to build their own brand, wouldn't that make sense? And so that's what I'm doing in regards to, I'm going to do for myself. I'm going to, in the midst of it is until, the investment, I showed you the testimonials. That's why I want to do this live on Freedom Day. Happy Juneteenth, my family. But I wanted to be able to show you what you can do, because all of this information is free on YouTube. Education is the one thing that no one can take from you. I can either invest $10,500 and be able to get this information done for me in regards to right away. You saw that I gave the whole proposal, or I can go do it myself. I gave you the strategies. I gave you the layout. I gave you and all it is testing. I looked at some of these actual, different ways to get things done. All it is testing. And so that's why I've been trying to get myself going, because now I got my playbook. Today I ended up doing my videos. I'm going to get that together by the weekend. And then AI, I'm going to implement all this pretty package together. Then I'm push and play. I'm going to learn the different strategies in regards to trying to get more people to attract to mine, because I have an amazing lineup for my live virtual conversations with Adriane May is coming up here. I got Like I said, Melissa Green Jackson is going to be here on July the 1st. I have July 8th. I have a Ohio State Senator is going to be there. Like, I got people that's coming on that I want to be able to help them get as much exposure as possible. So I'm going to do the work. Now, once I get my actual results, like he has Rihanna, he has Yahoo, he has all these different people or what have you that's already in line, then guess what's going to happen? I could charge $10,500 to do my consulting work. Don't you think that's going to help me get to my billionaire brand faster? So in the comments, leave for me if that makes sense to you in regards to understanding, like, you can make the choice. They're giving you free game, but you got to do the work. And I'm in the lab. Like, I am on the billionaire journey. It's day 402 of the billionaire journey. In 6 minutes, it's going to be day 403. But I just wanted to make sure I shared that information with you guys, and I want to be able to show you that anything is possible. Like, you don't have to make excuses in 2025. You literally have an opportunity to build your own brand, and you can actually do exactly what you want to do. There's so much game out here in regards to going to your next level, but how you get there is on you. You make the choice, you versus you every time. And I know that sometimes that the road is difficult. It's not easy. We have to go through the mindset. We have to learn and build and understand how to get there step by step. But the key is to go into those steps. So what I did with my 7-day quick start playbook for authentic lead generation is come up with a playbook in order to help real estate professionals, as well as entrepreneurs, athletes, any hard worker, to be able to tackle life in regards to step-by-step format for telling your story. And so the whole Freedom to Change marketing plan and the 7-day quick start playbook to authentic lead generation teaches professionals how to tell their story in a structured, authentic way, turning their inbox and it's a consistent flow of deals using my simple DM method powered by AI. So you see how I've shown up there in regards to how to get the playbook right here on the screen. Then you will get an actual copy of this playbook. Now, when you actually have this opportunity and understanding that running the play, and this honestly comes back from 2021 when my mortgage brokerage, Being the Change LLC, hosted its first Facebook webinar. And my team was able to have 120 leads in 75 minutes live. And even though I had digital marketing coaches that helped us out with the Facebook Live, we paid for, invested in, people helping us in regards to getting there. I didn't understand that stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just, I didn't understand it. But the key thing is I kept going. I invested thousands of dollars in digital marketing education. Now, Being the Change LLC has evolved from a mortgage brokerage to a AI-powered digital real estate marketing firm, so I can help people avoid the mistakes that I did. And that's why the Passion Over Profits program, that's why Funnel Freedom, that's why the AI process, those are so passionate for me, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. So in the playbook, I'm giving you the game that you need in regards to starting out the play with owning it and designing your reality with the 5F's reality check: your family, your faith, your fears, your finances, and fitness. You start there in regards to understand the brand you're building is only as strong as the version of you who's building it. Believe you start on the inside and you grow on the outside. And then when you keep going, play 2 is your business revenue goals. The dream without numbers is just a wish. You have to write down your goals and understanding those goals if you want them, write it down. So writing down your year 1, your year 3, your year 5 goal, that's the play in regards to understanding unapologetically how I can get to my billionaire brand. You can talk about it all day, but if you don't write it down, it's just not a purpose. It's not a plan with purpose. So if you want to fund your freedom on purpose, start with a plan. Then play number 3 goes into the WIN formula, your success inventory, because you're not just starting from scratch. You're actually starting from strength. Everything you've been through is a setup for your breakthrough. Like, I know sometimes things are hard or difficult or what have you in life, but what you have to realize is it's all for a reason. And realizing that part allows you to keep pushing through, keep going, and making it as amazing as possible. So it comes up with the WIN the WIN formula, which is what drives you, your why. The I is your internal and external hurdles, what's in your way. And the N, needed resources you already have, your now assets and leverage. You already have a cell phone, you have Wi-Fi, you have your voice, your story, and a will to win. Nothing is going to stop you if you That's it. So what are you willing to do to actually get to your goals? What's your grit factor? All grit. We're from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? So breakthroughs require bold moves, and you have to do things and ask yourself, are you willing to stay up late at night? It's 11:58 here in Detroit, Michigan. I mean, I learned new skills. I just showed you some things I'm going to learn in regards to hook point until I can invest in regards to that brand for myself. You know, it's storytelling structure, failing forward and doing things uncomfortable to hit your goals. So you are your business, and you just need a system, and you just have to keep going. So turning your inbox into income with AI, that was play number 4. And that's literally going through and using my guy, Chad GPT from the D, understanding, generating leads, closing sales with systems, and delivering and duplicating. But Chad, that's my guy. I don't have to do it by myself. Chad is my boo. So it's Chat GPT from the D, and it allows me to help out with growing the brand and understanding this online space. Play 5 is the lead automation framework. When you lead with purpose and leverage AI, your DMs turn into deposits. So understanding that step 1 is you're having a lead magnet, and step 2, which is my playbook, right? Having the capture page, just name, email, and being able to phone number, being able to follow up with people in the DM. An appointment booking page if you're doing phone calls, or actually having a DM system where it actually automatically goes to your DM, and then a video sales page. So that allows you to understand the 4-step framework of how you get there. And all of this information in the DM method is right here in the playbook. So I'm showcasing on the screen on how you get the playbook, and make sure you actually engage with the actual playbook as well. And, so that's step 4. Step 5 is understanding that the difference between email marketing and DM method, like there is a difference there, and understanding too that conversions happen when you happen. So it's the time to purchase is so much less than the DM versus email. So having a system built that's going to help you put it all together, that's how you actually get it done. Play 6 is growing your brand and how to tell your story and showing up in the community. But I talked to you a little bit about my live virtual conversations with Adriane on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But these 10 plays here are to grow your business, mastering sales funnels, email marketing, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, going live, Facebook ads, Google ads, search engine optimization, and statistics. That's when you know you're getting it. That's when you know those are the 10 plays that'll help you grow your business, because marketing gives your business momentum. And that's the one area most professionals should focus on first, but they don't. In leveraging it in regards to their brand, most business owners regret not doing marketing, and not most business owners don't have a recession-proof income, which is marketing, and building your brand, which is never having you to look for a just over broke job again. And then again, the number one investment you should have is in time and money. So start with a purpose, finish with power, and understand your why is louder than your doubt. And you just got to keep going. And so in the playbook, mastering the 10 plays I just went through, and then giving you that whole visualization on how you actually build this value and why it matters. The playbook is cold. I'm pretty proud of the playbook, because I wanted to take my time, because again, this is going to be my one offer. This is where I'm going to coach from, teach from, learn from, build from, and I'm so excited to be done on Juneteenth, Freedom Day. Ha! And so play 7, actions. Faith without works is dead. And so execution is wasted if you don't take action. So I go through what the action steps are. And so play 8, reverse engineering your goal, because you're going to have to do some testing. You need a game plan though, and start with the end in mind. So if I have a billionaire plan, then I have to put forth effort in finding things that's going to help me get there. Dream big. And that's what I do. I don't half step. I dream big. So create the clarity. And that's knowing the why and setting my 5-year revenue goal. Understanding step 2 is be willing to pay the price, staying up late, having new habits. And step 3 is committing to the process. No plan B, run the play and be consistent in it every single day. And then play 9 is having a system, being able to understand how to do, what to do, and how to do it, and saying, I need help. And so if you pick your play and investing in your brand, what the key thing is time never sleeps. That's the part that you realize right along with AI. So helping people learn how to tell their story in a structured, authentic way, turning their inbox into a consistent flow of deals using my simple DM method powered by AI. I'm proud of this. I mean, I've literally been working on this for the past couple of weeks. I failed. I went to training. My coaches has told me, like, Adriane, nope, you got to do this. You're putting too much here, putting too much there. And I'm still going to go take it to them tomorrow before I, just because I have coaching on Fridays or what have you. But I'm owning it. I'm designing the reality that Adriane Mays wants. And how I get there is scaling with support. And that's what Passion Over Profits program does. And that's what actual Fun of Freedom with the AI's Freedom Launchpad is going to do. It's going to help grow and build this brand of Adriane Mays, because we coming. So that was a lot, I know. And I appreciate you all for staying, in regards to, kind of going through everything that's been growing and building. So I wanted to get that done for, again, the Freedom Day and being able to have this blueprint done finally. And now I get to continue to kind of build on it. Now tomorrow I'm going to work on my email marketing and get all of those pieces in my DM and get the trigger words. And then I can do my call to actions like my coaches keep telling me to do or what have you. So I got that piece done. I've been working. Okay. And I wanted to get this actual video completed as well, so I can add this part to the course part for those that invest in getting coaching and with Adriane Mays. I'll have some actual tangible things that they can have to take away. And I wanted to get that part done too, building a community of people that know, like, and trust me, so that this billionaire brand, I don't have to do it alone. So I want to end with this because I was able to talk my way all the way to June 20th, and I wasn't trying to, but this is where we are. And this is now 19 months sober for me. And I honestly am so thankful to be here. This is the one trip that I never thought that I wanted to go on. And I'm going to continuously say that. And I had a guy, Jimmy Millen, who's in the journey with me and what have you. It was on live with me a couple of weeks ago. And he said that his favorite holiday was a sobriety date. And I was like, and your sobriety date is every single month as long as you stay consistent. And so the 20th is so instrumental for me. November 20th, 2023, it's like my cousin's birthday, rest in heaven, Jabari Weston, is November 20th, 2023. And he passed away last year. And I actually have this fuel in me that if I'm on this side of the dirt, nothing can stop me. God has everything happen for a reason. And now that, again, addiction is real and you realize being your honest, authentic self is the best way to actually do it. And guess what else? You have a story. I have a story that I didn't plan for this story, but it's what it is. But God knew exactly where I'm supposed to be today, and that's where I am. And I'm going to continue to do the work to peel the layers back to get to the true, authentic self, because how can I help someone else if I'm not doing the work for myself? I'm putting in the work. I don't mind being me now. I'm so much happier. I'm smiling through it all because everything is happening for a reason that I have no design. For example, my guy, Zach Jenkins, that was on the podcast on this past Tuesday. I had no idea, my brother, Zach, and I appreciate him so much for coming on and being authentic and being real with me. I had no idea that he was going to talk about therapy. I've been trying to get someone to speak in regards to mental health on my platform for years. And my therapist, I tried to get my therapist, I tried to get a couple other people that's actually, I didn't even know that was going to happen like that. So this past Tuesday, Zach Jenkins, he came on, he was authentic. Check out the actual playlist. And like I said, I'm going to put that in the comments. Your mental health and therapy, don't be afraid to go and try it. Just go. And I know that if Unica Gaines, my business partner back in 2022, didn't encourage me to get therapy, I know that I wouldn't be where I am now. This was before my 19 months of sobriety or what have you. It was realizing that I don't see things in myself that needed to be changed. I have to treat myself like a queen in order for me to be treated like a queen, or expect my king to actually come. Because again, how do you actually do that if you don't do the work? So I've been doing the work, consistently going to therapy, getting the things done. So 19 months of sobriety for me is more than just going about going viral and getting all the things done. It's being able to help people on a larger scale. And I'm going to empower and be a model and innovate and prosper and show people what's possible by being your true, genuine self and doing what God has in store for me. I am authentic in me, and I didn't know what I didn't know. But at the same time, I had to forgive myself grace and give myself the process. And you have to do the same, but you got to do the work. And I'm so thankful for 19 months of sobriety, walking into my truth while doing this live here today with you guys over an hour and a half on my platform that I'll never forget, because YouTube is forever, right? And I wanted to just thank God for choosing me for this plan. The road has not been easy. And, sometimes you have to lose relationships and make alterations because if you're not being treated, your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid and they're fair. And so doing the work, getting a system, getting a spiritual person on New Solutions of Recovery, reading the literature, I'm reading the Bible right now, having God as the leader of my life and turning it all over to him, I trust the process. I love him choosing me for this plan because he thought I was strong enough. I had the ability to turn my back on him for so long by poisoning myself. As I put on my page today, I was literally in an abusive relationship and I'm breaking up with alcohol. Like, I'm no longer, even if I was in my boyfriend was doing the things that I was doing, my people would look at me like, what are you doing? Like, you put this thing into you and you're killing yourself. You're slowly. And we use it for celebrations, for good things, bad things. And I didn't see my eczema is gone. Like, the things that has been affected and the clarity that comes when you actually just work the process one day at a time. Pause, ponder, pray, proceed before every decision. Being a part of a love school that can actually have your mind expand to things that you wouldn't even think are possible. I thank God for choosing me. And I literally enjoy the journey as much as the destination and know that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be because he wouldn't make a mistake on me. I own it. I am the power behind his brand. And I thank him for just bringing me this far. So I went on my rant because this is day 403 of the Billionaire Journey, number 34, Flash. That's me. What up, though? But being honest and authentic, Zach, I want to say thank you. I was able to link him up with my guy, Mike. Mike is actually in therapy with me as well. And so being able to connect those two spectrums together and they actually connecting. And so getting the ball, I don't care if I help impact one person with my live virtual conversation. And God gave me that checkbox this week. He got my amazing coach with Daniel Chu, my amazing mentorship I had with Pantene, just helping people. My billions are going to come because if you help people and be here for service, but you got to help yourself first. And that's what I was doing wrong. I was putting so much of my time and energy into people that didn't even care about me. And I love all of my family, my friends. I want to say that publicly for real because I love everybody. But at the same time, I'm learning how to love me. And I love the process. And I know God chose me for this design because that's what it was supposed to be, because here we are. So, thank you so much for being here live with me. 19 months sober today. If I had a fan, I wanted to give them fans, like, give them fans, like, pop the fans. I mean, I know everybody irritated with that, but I am popping my collar, smiling through 19 months, and I'm going to keep going every single day. What up, though, Detroit? We are here, June 20th. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that's all I know. Unique Games, I appreciate you, my friend. 20 months. I mean, the 20th of June. And being the change, we're growing, we're building. We got the tax business growing. We got things coming. And you know what the great thing about live is? Guess what? It's live. So we got our tax business going. We have Smile No Blink Photo Booth going. And we got the digital marketing with Being the Change LLC rolling. And we're putting all of their different pieces together. Because again, the support that my business partner looked out for me and then trusted me and supported me through this, I'll never forget. And I'm just thankful because now that God's plan is coming one day at a time, there's nothing you can do with him on your side. I got confidence. So I'm done with my rant. I love everybody for showing up. Thank you so much, Melissa, for showing up for me, sister, and actually participating in my whole And like I said, check her out live July 1st, 2025 on a live virtual conversation with Adriane Mays. And make sure you download the playbook. Like I said, I'm getting the system together. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be easy. I'm going to be closing people in the DM. I'm going to show results. I'm going to turn into the brand charging people $10,500. Going to do testing. I'm going to do different things in regards to tell your story and your formats. Because if I can get more exposure to people like the Zach and Mike connecting and being able to have mental health and maybe even talking about forums and being able to help more people, I want to help create other billionaire brands. Why not? I don't want to do this alone because it starts with your mindset. So here we are, day 403 of the billionaire journey. 403. That's love. I love you. Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate you, sis. I am here 19 months over today, day 403 of the billionaire journey. And we are just getting started. And thank you for the support. I appreciate you 100%. You know that. And I am going to, we're just going to keep going because you never know what's going to happen on the other side of your why as long as you just keep taking this first step because God's going to take the second. You just got to keep going. And that's the message for today. So I'm done talking and running my mouth because I think I did it for about 15 minutes because I can, because I'm live. And make sure you download the playbook. Make sure you give me your feedback as well. Check out that video with Brendan Kane and Myron Golden. He has millions of views on his page. I'm getting there. I'm just not there yet, but I'm going. You know how we end. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though, Detroit? The girl is 19 months sober. Let's go. What up, though? Deuces. Love you. God's plan, not mine. Thy will be done. Thank you.